Nearly 1 in 3 teens and 1 in 4 adults experience them in their lifetime. Now, I want all of you sitting here to take a moment and think. How many times have you passed by somebody and thought that they were the happiest person in the world? Odds are, some of you can think of a few people like that, right? Well, the truth is, we can't always see somebody's pain because they hide it in all kinds of ways. Oddly enough, in my own struggles and insecurities of life, I used makeup to hide how I was feeling. Not just to enhance my face, but to hide how I was truly feeling inside. Each layer became a mask for something that I was too afraid to show. My relationship with makeup started at a very young age, not for fun, but for comfort. I was born to 2 special needs individuals and ended up being born with special needs myself. This was a sensory processing disorder, which meant that I wouldn't go on anything that moved or touch anything like slime or shaving cream without getting extremely overwhelmed. This led to countless occupational therapist appointments, as well as numerous home visits from Far Northern Regional Center, which basically required our house to look perfect all the time. This stressed out my parents a lot, who were still trying to figure out how to live together with all of their different lifestyles, let alone raise me. They started to argue often over the little things, like my dad taking me to lunch so he could stop doing chores for the afternoon, or my mom forgetting to tell my dad about one thing she bought at the store. All of this arguing always ended up correlating into all of our fun family activities, and I thought that was normal for a while, until I started school. I would hear all of my peers talk about their fun family vacations full of smiles and laughter, none filled with arguing. It was at that moment I realized my family was a little different, but for the wrong reasons. I thought that I was the reason my family was different because I was the one who required all of the special help. Instead of talking to anybody about how my small self felt, I pushed everything down and reached for some primer. Not for beauty, but to smooth over the cracks that I felt inside. This became my first mistake, as it slowly became the base of everything I started to add to my face. I was 9 when my dad left. He said his usual good nights before work, but this time, he didn't come back home. Days turned into weeks, then months, before I slowly realized he wasn't coming back home. He had permanently moved back to Wyoming, leaving me with only being able to call him every now and then. I was heartbroken. I thought that I did something wrong, and that if I had been a better daughter, he would have stayed. Those weekly FaceTime calls I got weren't enough to fill the empty space in the dining room, in the car, or on the other side of me playing catch. However, instead of talking to anybody, I pushed everything down and reached for some foundation. Nobody could tell the difference. Over the years, countless things have happened that have caused me to add more makeup to my face. However, it was in 8th grade when I got a call that truly shattered everything I had going on. It was my father. "Sweetie, I have cancer." 4 words that no child ever wants to hear their parents say, yet I was hearing it right then and there. I was heartbroken. I was struggling to know what to feel or what to think. The only thing that I knew was that I had to be strong for him. Not even a year after that, I came home off the school bus to see my Popo acting funny while my Momo rushed him to the ER. And just like that, I watched my Popo, the man who stepped into the father figure role for me after my dad left, have a stroke. I was truly struggling then. I was thinking that I could lose both the people I saw as father figures in my life. But I was trying to stay strong. For my dad, who was going through one of the toughest battles of his life. For my grandma, who was just trying to have the best life possible for her husband. And for my grandpa, as I slowly had to watch him realize that he would never do the things he loved to do again. Like drive his truck to Bernie to run errands. Or get on his green tractor to do work around the yard. I was truly struggling then, and going through things that I've still never talked about and wouldn't wish on anybody in this room. To the outside world, I was thriving, but on the inside, I was exhausted and struggling to stay afloat. I thought I did my best to hide how I was feeling, and I thought I did my best to keep everyone out. One person, however, saw what the smiles, the silence, and the makeup couldn't hide. That was my best friend, Cara Moore. She showed me that what I went through was valid of having feelings towards, and that I was not at fault for any of the negative things that have happened to me in my life. With her help, I've been able to turn my scars into strength and my silence into a voice. So now, as I stand here, makeup and all, I stand for once not to hide, but to shine. For myself, for others, and for hope. That is why I'm running to be the 2025 Miss Intermountain Fair Queen. Not just for the crown, but for the people. To be that person I once needed in my own struggles. Before I end my time up here, I would like to thank some of the people who have helped me so much in my life. To my mom, Momo, Popo, Brian, Cole, Jade, Mary, Jacob, and really all my other cousins out there. Thank you for always believing in me and everything I've done. I'm so grateful to have you behind me in everything I chose to do. To Cara, even though you're not here today because you're fulfilling your dreams at Chico State, thank you for doing what you did back then. You didn't have to, but you did, and I'm so happy I've had you behind me. And lastly, to this entire community, thank you so much for always hoping and believing in me. Whether it's buying my market land each year at fair, or helping to support me in this program tonight, I am so thankful for all of you. So please, if you're in the position to do so, reach out to the people you think are doing just fine. Because in reality, it's those people who could be struggling the most right now. If you're on the other end of that, if you're the person struggling, please reach out to somebody. You don't have to go through it all alone. Healing takes time, but it does come, and I'm proof of that. As Victor Hugo once said, even in the darkest of nights, the sun will rise. I know that's true because no matter how heavy my storm got, light came back into my life, and it can for you too. Thank you.